My mod list for Stardew Valley is finally here. I've created a list of every single mod that is being used in my current playthrough of Stardew Valley. So if you're curious about any mods that I'm using, you can find the link in the description. I will be updating this mod list anytime that I add or remove a mod. Just know that I have a lot of mods, so if you ask me about a certain texture or where a mod came from, I may not be able to give you an answer, but you're welcome to ask in the comments about it. So for the rest of the video, I am just going to go over what is in the mod list and provide any additional information if you are curious. So I'm just going to start with the first page. As I mentioned, I do like to get new mods and update them, so this list can change, and you are welcome to save a copy. There should be a button at the top if you want to save it as a copy. My mod list is excessive. I know this, it's ridiculous. I have so many mods and it's really not necessary. You can enjoy vanilla Stardew Valley, or you can just enhance it with a couple of mods. Do not compare your mod list to mine. I am just playing this way because I enjoy it this way. Trust me, I am aware that I have a modding issue, and I'm like this with every game. It is my addiction. I just have to put it out there that I'm the one who's not normal. So just in case any mods are deleted by the creator or anyone wants to just ask for my mod folder directly, I just have to put it out there that I cannot share files directly. The Stardew Valley community generally doesn't allow this. Mod creators want to share their own content, which is totally understandable, so I cannot give out anything, even if it's a personal edit that I've made. Download these mods at your own risk. Always back up your saves before you add or remove any mods. There are some mods that require a brand new game of Stardew Valley. If you are currently on like year 3 and you try to add some of these mods, it might break your game. So just be aware of that. I'm simply providing the links and information of the mods that I am using in the playthrough. For anybody who comes across this that is playing on the mobile version of Stardew Valley, I'm really sorry, but I don't play it and I have no idea which mods will work with the mobile version. If you are curious which ones work with mobile, I recommend you just check the description of the mods and find out if they work for the mobile version that way. When you are downloading from Nexus, or any mod really, make sure you have all the required mods to run them. I see it a lot in the comments where someone says this is not working and they just missed one of the required mods. So Nexus also provides a list of all the mods that are required and generally will tell you if they're optional or if you need to have them. So look out for that on Nexus. And finally, I have merged content patcher mods into alternative textures so that I have more options in the game. So when I use the paint bucket on an object to change the texture, that is why I have so many textures. I am just manually taking XMB files and content patcher files and converting them to alternative textures myself. I'm merging them with another mod that I already have. This is not necessary. You don't need to do this. Most people are only going to play with one texture. Nobody needs 20 different farmhouse textures or barn textures, but that's how I like to play. It's just nice to have the options, but it's not necessary. So all of my mods are here. Currently, at the time of this recording, I have 474 mods according to SM API when I launch it. The list looks smaller because many of these mods have folders, and that creates a very large list of mods on SM API. I tried to categorize them as best as possible so you can look through each category for something that you're directly looking for. So for example, if you're looking for just my map, I have a map visual and content. This contains everything that affects the map. Just some quick few things to go over, especially if you're a little bit new to modding. The first ones here that have brackets are generally the main mods being used by other creators. For example, alternative textures. You're going to see brackets with AT that I have for alternative textures, like these are the alternative textures trees, or like under furniture, I have a ton of alternative texture mods. That means that it requires alternative textures. You can hover over each thing. I put little descriptions. Some are a little bit vague because really it's just there because it has to be. Some have more info. I also tried to list with a green check mark for any mods that require more, but I still recommend that you just open the Nexus link and check the requirements yourself, as sometimes things are optional and some things are recommended. I just included these in case you want a quick glance at what those mods are requiring. So if they're blank, generally it only requires the one that's in the bracket, or It doesn't require anything at all, just having SM API is all you need to run it. I did mark off some ones that can be a little bit more tricky or you should be more careful of with exclamation points. The farmhouse that I'm using, we're not really seeing the true potential of the farmhouse yet because I haven't upgraded it. You can see what it's going to look like at the link. This is a tricky farmhouse. If you're curious about the farmhouse, this is what the farmhouse will look at the end and what made me want to download it. There is the main link here for downloading it, but there is a bathroom that is a bit annoying to deal with. You cannot use alternative textures to edit the bathroom. It is directly using XMB files from the game assets. So you also need to download this and you will replace the game assets XMB file, the farmhouse tiles. However, to further complicate things, I am also using Mii's bathroom recolors. This tile sheet and the other tile sheet do not match each other. I basically had to directly edit and copy and paste this image over this image. So that required me unpacking, replacing the images, and then repacking this. So just be aware that it does take some extra work if you are curious to use the exact same farmhouse that I'm using. It is a little bit complicated. For things like Floral Megamix, pay attention to what is available there. There's a lot of mods that you need to run it. However, for some reason, for this, it lists market day and it doesn't directly say if it's required or not. Just like for this one, they say they highly recommend, but that sounds like it's not required, right? I went ahead and got this one since it mentions that it adds crops, but for the market day, it's so buggy. I couldn't get it to work correctly and I didn't feel comfortable including it in my mod list, so I deleted that folder. Sometimes it is possible to remove something that you're not using, and generally mod creators do mention this, but for some reason in the requirements, if you only look at this, it doesn't say that, but you can remove it. That is what I have done. You don't have to download market day and add it to your playthrough if you don't want to. At the bottom, I've listed all the mods that I've converted to alternative textures. Like I said, it's not necessary. Most of them are CP mods that you can use. So for example, if you want to use this particular craftable, it's CP. You can use this as your craftables in the game. If you are comfortable with converting to alternative textures, I have done it for all of these, so if that's something you can do, I have everything listed here that you can also use. Some of these, I don't use everything. For example, Sweet Tree, I just took one texture from this mod and I don't even know if I will use it, to be honest. I just add things that I find interesting or that I might want to try to use. So this is my mod list. It's here. So for anyone who's made it to the end of this video, as always, thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next episode.